The Hardy Boys is a long-running series of adventure mystery novels aimed at 10 to 14-year-old boys, but that doesn't mean that I can't look at them with an older eye and pull them apart and rate them. Why am I qualified? They were some of my favorite books when I was a kid, and now, as I reread them more than 5 years since the last time I picked one up, will they hold up? Welcome to Ranking the Hardys, the series where I rank every single Hardy Boys book ever made. Today we are looking at the third Hardy Boys book, The Secret of the Old Mill. Let's find out if this book grinds a great book. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. I publish videos at least once a week and really appreciate the support. Now back to the video. The third novel, it was published in 1927 and written by Leslie McFarlane under the name Franklin W. Dixon for the Stratemeyer Syndicate and was published by Grosser and Dunlap. In 2001, it was named the 86th best-selling children's book, selling 1.467 million copies. Like the previous two books, The Tower Treasure and The House on the Cliff, this book was rewritten in the 1960s. As usual, I'm looking to the updated version of the novel, but I may look at the original version in the future. This update changed some of the details, like the size of the bills, and changes the victims of the criminals early on, from Chet to the Hardy Boys and later their mother, Miss Hardy. To help rank the books based on more than personal preference, I will be looking at 5 key categories: strength of mystery, strength of side characters, the Hardy's friends, logic of the mystery and clues, and realness of the novel. Each category can have a maximum score of 10 points, for a total maximum score, before bonuses, of 50. Strength of the mystery refers to how well knit the plot is, and if there is a strong mystery to solve or a weak one. This can be affected by the type of case, the time to solve the case, and how they solve the case. Strength of side characters refers to the side characters the Hardys meet. Are they little more than set dressing, or do they have personality and a purpose to the story? This rating does not include the strength of the Hardy's gang of friends. The Hardy's friends is looking at if, who, and how the various chums of the Hardy Boys are used. Between their girlfriends and school buddies, they have a strong support system that in the best stories are usually well utilized, with at least some having key roles in the novel. The logic of the mystery and clues is related to the strength of the mystery, but focuses on if a reader can put the clues together themselves if faced with the same mystery in real life, or if the book is required because logical leaps or unlikely coincidences abound in the novel. Finally, the realness of the novel examines if the novel is realistic. Is it possible that the Hardy Boys, in the state the book has them in this case high school students, could solve the mystery? This looks at the reasons given for having the time to travel to sleuth, and if the novel's mystery is realistic. As well, bonus points can be awarded for things such as the appearance of recurring and amusing side characters, the usage of Chet's hobbies as a plot point, and more. I will also make sure to point out my favorite quote in the book. So now that we know the ranking methodology, let's look at the leaderboard and get into the story. Currently, out of 50 points maximum before bonuses, the leader is the Tower Treasure with 36 points. Second place, both here and chronologically, is The House on the Cliff with 22 points. And now, let's find out what the secret of the old mill is. The book opens at the train station, where Frank, Joe, and Chet are waiting for Mr. Fenton Hardy to arrive. As they wait, Chet goes to get some candy from a vending machine, and a train arrives. A stranger runs from making it at the very last second as the train is beginning to move. Chet comes out, remarking that he'd made change for a $20 bill for a man inside, and after waiting a while, find that their dad must have taken a later train. Leaving, they drive to a store in town, where Chet is planning on buying a microscope for his new hobby. In town, they park and are almost at the shop when Frank sees an impending disaster and saves a younger boy, Ken, at the last moment from being run over by a truck. Ken and his bike are okay, and Joe finds the package. He was delivering a confidential package from Mr. Victor Peter. Ken thanks him and goes off, as does the driver after apologizing profusely and giving Ken a $5. Inside the shop, Chet hands over his money to the proprietor, who goes to get a microscope, but discovers that one of the 20s was fake. The Hardys deduce that the man on the train must have given Chet the fake bill. The shopkeeper lets them take the microscope on the promise they will come back, and they head to Chet's house to talk to his father and get the missing 20. Mr. Morton isn't home, instead at his favorite fishing spot. And they talk with Mr. Morton explaining that he took the afternoon off because the day was beautiful, and he had just finished selling a large plot of land at his real estate office to Electron Controls, a space missile parts company located on the outskirts of Bayport. Chet goes to pay off the microscope, and the Hardys head home after stopping at the police station with a fake 20, where Chief Colleague explains how they know it was fake, although a very good fake, and explains the mystery to them with the help of Chet's microscope. Fenton comes home later, and to the boys' surprise, the case he's working on has nothing to do with the counterfeiters, instead on a much more important and secretive case. The Hardys continue to investigate, and that night they receive a threatening message for their dad. They investigate around the house and find a bike pedal, which is later found to be a part for an uncommon Belgian bike. Chet wants to apply an electron, and Frank, Joe, Chet, Iowa, and Callie go to the area for a picnic. The Hardys notice that Ken has a Belgian bike with a new and an old pedal. Chet talks to the guardhouse man, who tells them that there are no jobs. The teens explore, the boys eventually wandering into a cave while the girls stare outside to sun themselves. As the boys are moving rocks inside, they hear a scream from outside and run outside. An arrow with a warning has been shot at the girls. The Hardys investigate the two notes and discover an unusual watermark on them. Meanwhile, it is reported that the sabotage has been happening at military contractor plants across the country. Their dad seems to be involved in the case, and that night asks them to go somewhere. They do, and with their parents and Aunt Gertrude, discover they have gotten a new boat, the sloop. They take it out for a test drive, going up the river close to the electron plant and the titular old mill, now a guardhouse for electron. They investigate the area and find a finger guard from a bow before being knocked out and put adrift on their boat, where they wake up heading out to sea. They manage to escape that fate as the fog rolls in by taking turns pulling the gas-drained boat to shore. The next day, Tony tells them that his dad was scammed with a counterfeit 20 by the occupants of a green panel truck, a man and a boy. Chet gets a job at Electron in the cafeteria, telling the Hardys that the personnel manager never got a call from the guardhouse like the guard said they did, and the Hardys discover that the paper was sold by a company that exclusively sells to large corporations, including Electron. They go out on the sleuth with Chet, but it has been sabotaged and they nearly run into another boat before manually pulling out lines to stop the engine. A man helps them get back to shore and they discover that it has been sabotaged the previous night after they returned from their gasless trip. They go back to the mill to talk to Ken and see a green panel truck driver. They get the license plate and see the electron plant partially explode! They worry and see police and firefighters congregate about. They're worried that their dad was inside the plant, but they aren't allowed to go in. Later that night, when Fenton returns, he reveals that he was indeed inside the plant and was chasing the saboteurs and had disabled part of their TNT explosives, but not everything in time before being knocked out. The next day, they discover that Ken was let go and they get directions to his boarding house from the guard. They go there but find it is abandoned. They look around and find the green panel truck in a barn, though. As they investigate, they are locked in, but quickly break out using the truck itself. They then get directions to a different boarding house where they find Ken and bring him back to their house for his protection. After some more sleuthing, they discover that the packages Ken has been bringing to Mr. Victor's are likely the fake money, not printing jobs as he was told by Dr. Markle, as Electron does all of the printing. Information the Hardys set off to discover the secret of the old mill. I really enjoyed reading The Secret of the Old Mill much more than the previous book, but how does it stack up? For strength of mystery, this is a very strong dual mystery, with two separate mysteries that need to be solved, the counterfeiters and the saboteurs, who are two separate gangs. At the start, they don't know anything and must piece it together piece by piece using logic, clues, grit, and investigative skill. Yes, they get lucky a few times with who gets the counterfeit bills, alerting them to the crime, but this is very minor. This gets the book an 8. The side characters in this book consist of the vast number of criminals, including 5 major criminals at the end: Ken, Oscar Smuff, Chief Collie, a few Electron staff, Coast Guarder sailors, a few other pleasantry sailors, the boarding house owner, and making her first appearance, Aunt Gertrude, yes! This cast of characters has a lot of forgettable and minor characters, of course, but let's talk about the main one. Oscar Smuff just makes a cameo, but it is always amusing and well worth the text. Ken is a good side character, someone helping the crime unwittingly, and who is willing to help the Hardys when he can. And of course, Aunt Gertrude! Though she has a limited role in this book, I'm happy that she is introduced. For this cast of characters, the book gets a 9. Mostly for the introduction of a series mainstay, the use of numerous recurring characters, and the depth of some of the other side characters. Less of the Hardys' friends appear in this book, with only Chet appearing more than once. Iowa, Callie, and Tony all make appearances, but they are limited to brief chapters. This scores the book a 4 on this count. The logic of the mystery is well put together, and the clues are concrete and could be followed in real life. It was very clever how the ending mechanisms and clues by and within the old mill were constructed, and logic follows this book from the beginning to end. 7 points. Finally, realism. This book scores high points because it immediately tells us why the boys have the time. It's summer vacation. We were also given dual cases. The one that the Hardy Boys are intending to solve. Counterfeiters are a criminal type that they could take down, while the more advanced criminals, the saboteurs, are left for their father to handle. Of course, the two mysteries do overlap, but they are intending to catch the counterfeiters. I give it an 8. My favorite quote is from Aunt Gertrude. When asked by Joe if she ever worried about them, she replies, "Oh no!" as she exploded. only on weekdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. This quote is not only funny, but also reveals a lot about Anchorage character, somebody that cares deeply for them and who is prone to worry. Together, these add up to a score of 36, but we can award multiple bonus points here, one each for the introductions of Anchorage and the Hardy Boys boats, the Sleuth, both of which will play large roles in future books. Chet's hobby of microscopes can also be given a point because it ties in with the larger story. This gives it 3 bonus points for a total final score of 39. With that, we have a new winner as the Secret of the Old Mail leapfrogs the Tower Treasure to take first place. Next time on Rankings the Hardys is the Missing Chums, and we'll have to see if it can do better than the Old Mail or if it's just going to go missing. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I've got book reviews, analysis, and reviews often. If you like this, make sure to check out some of my other content listed below, or in the title card. Or leave a like, a comment, or tell me what book you want me to see review next. Until next time, keep sleuthing.